Alright, loves, this reading's gonna be what is their dark truth, and then we're gonna get some advice. These are just regular tarot cards, but they have a lot of interesting different kinds of information. You have the reverse meaning, the upright meaning, and like all kinds of signs like Uranus, air sign. They're really cool. And then this one, it's a printout copy of tarot, but I put my own message decks on the back of it, and I wrote Dark Truth, and I made this one the Magician. But yeah, this is the person who actually made it. I just printed it out and made it my own. So we're gonna do we'll just do 1, 2, and 3. What is their dark truth? Pick number 1, number 2, or number 3. The other deck will be advice. So, what is their dark truth? Number 1. We'll get 2 for each person. So, number 1, their dark truth. The dark truth of the person on their mind for number 1. Let me get 2 cards, please, and thank you. The dark truth of the person on number 1's mind. You know what? I'm going to get what is your dark truth, what is their dark truth, and advice. That's what I'm going to do. What's number 1's dark truth first off? Oh, there we go. Might have had a tower moment when it comes to an issue you have. Alright, what is number 2's dark truth? There we go. What is number 3's dark truth? Oh, that one wanted to come out, but we'll see if it comes out. I feel very drawn to it, though, not gonna lie, so. Alright, and number 1, the dark truth of the person they are asking about, or they need to know about. You might have just come to this scene if someone had a dark truth. Dark truth of the person on number 2's mind, or someone they need to know about. I'm going to leave it open like that, because just because you want to hear about someone, I'm feeling this one, it doesn't mean that's the person you need to hear about. So, number 3, the person on their mind's dark truth, or someone's dark truth they need to be aware of. Okay. And what's a dark truth my collective needs to look at when it comes to themselves? For my overall collective. There we go. Alright. So, the dark truth for my overall collective, we have the King of Swords. And it says, I let people do whatever they want to me. So, you could still be trying to get rid of people pleasing, just to fit in or to feel better. So that's what I have for my collective. If that resonates, if you feel like maybe you let more people take advantage than you should, there's that. And this is the stone that the deck chose for this. It's blue, so that blue is for the throat chakra and the heart. So maybe you're not always speaking your truth when it comes to people, places, things. Now, advice for number 1. I'm feeling this one. Advice for number 2. Definitely that one's sticking out. And advice for number 3. I'm actually feeling the bottom one, if I'm honest. Alright, and advice for my beautiful collective when it comes to their dark truth and how to best handle it. Alright, let's see. So we got the Page of Pentacles, upright, manifestation. All my rocks are shifting all of a sudden. That was interesting. Manifestation, financial opportunity, skill, development, ambition, desire, and diligence. Earth sign. And if you had a question about something, the answer is yes. So you might find the answers in this reading to something you've been wanting to know. So if you want to manifest what it is that you desire, you really need to have the ambition to use your skills to go towards things that will develop the things you want, not the things that you don't want. So if you don't want to do something for someone and you feel like it's not going to help your goals, why are you doing it? Why are you just helping someone else with their goals? Now, it's one thing if you both can help each other. That's called a win-win scenario. But if you're just taking from them or they're just taking from you, it's unequal and it's going to be unfair and overall just not really very good energy. Now, the stone that the deck chose with the advice is a shell. It's not a stone at all. It's a shell I got from the beach. So be really in tune with your feelings and emotions. And spend some time in a relaxing environment that will help you to feel better about your situation, and also just try to get away from everything and remember what peace feels like. And if someone's just stressing you out, remember that they're probably just not for you. Okay, so that's what I have for my collective. Now are you number 1, number 2, number 3? Number 1, your dark truth. I am delusional and unrealistic. So basically this means that you have a tendency to fantasize about things, but you don't really do anything towards it. Like, let's say that you want to meet someone new, but you don't ever put yourself out there and you expect the universe to just kind of make them stalk you and find your house. That's really not how you get found. It's really not how you discover new things. So make sure when you want something that you need to ask yourself, is this good for me? Is this good for everyone involved in the situation, if you're involved in a situation? And in the end, ask if it's really gonna give you what you need, not what you want. Wants and needs are very different. Like, you could want $1 million, but really what you really need is like 200 to pay your bills, right? And look at it as, okay, how can I work towards that money versus just, I want to have ridiculous amounts of money. Okay, well, there's no point in asking for ridiculous amounts of money. What would you do with it? If you can't think of anything that will make all your dreams come true or won't help anyone else, no offense, the universe isn't going to give it to you. Not just on that basis alone, but what are you doing towards earning it? Universe always meets you halfway. It's never going to just hand everything to you. Alright, and then their dark secret, or the dark secret of someone you need to know about. It's, I am jealous and I will smother you. So if you have someone on your mind in particular and you just kind of feel like they're all over you all the time and you don't understand, or you have someone in your life who's always all over you, it's because they get easily jealous, they're very possessive, they don't want anyone else to hang out with you but them, they don't want anybody else in your presence but them, and they'll probably be really rude and lash out, and you'll be like, what was your problem? And they'll be like, I didn't have a problem, they had a problem. I'm getting like very strategic. I heard Aquarius. This person just kind of randomly lashes out and they're very nonchalant about it. But I'm just seeing, like, I heard Aquarius in 3rd house. I don't know what that means, but yeah. Interesting. In your advice, we have upright, courage, persistence, test of faith, resilience, boundaries, last stand. They could have stained something of yours. Gearing up for worse, pessimism, weary. And then it says strength, compassion, completion, optimism, suffering. And then 6 of Wands, fire, 2nd deacon, Sagittarius. So I kind of feel like you're always fighting this person off. And you need to figure out a good way to just distance yourself. Make plans with other people, don't tell them, and maybe it's someone who just randomly shows up at your house. don't go home sometimes. Try and make new friends, meet new people, or before you go home, go to a bookstore, even if you're not interested in books, just to kind of distance yourself from this person. They're very clingy, very needy, and they have a lot of issues, and they will take those out on you eventually if they haven't already. So that's what I have for you, number one. Many blessings. We're going to clear that. Alright, number two. What is your dark secret? I am very immature. So basically, you're someone who has issues with dealing with your thoughts, your emotions, your feelings, and putting them in actions and words that are considerate of other people. And what I mean by that is maybe when someone hurts your feelings, you have a tendency to lash out at others. Or if you feel like someone did something not nice, you just lash out at them in any kind of way, whether it be like you set them up or you tell somebody a lie about them. I'm just getting like you talk crap about people, or you will do things to like sabotage them if they upset you. It's a vengeful energy. You're someone who likes to get revenge against someone, and you aren't afraid to play dirty. That's really the energy I'm getting. So, now the person on your mind. Oh yeah, we have the Page of Cups for dark truth. Now, the person on your mind or someone you need to know about dark truth, the Emperor, number 4. Number 4 should be significant, is what I heard. The Emperor is someone very strategic. This person says, you will do whatever I say and submit to me. So this person likes to be in control, and when they don't feel in control, they could get violent or they don't speak to you. I'm getting like this person could be emotionally manipulative. Like if you don't want to do something with you, they'll say, fine, I don't want to do anything at all. Or like if you talk about a subject they don't like, they say, I don't want to talk about this, it's boring. Like this is someone who will shut you down in any way they can, and they will try to manipulate you in any way they can. That's really the energy that I'm getting. I'm actually getting like devil energy. So this person, they're very difficult unless they get their way. They're only nice when they get their way. So that's their dark truth. And then the advice, we have upright, speed, rapid action, movement, swift change, manifesting quickly, quick decisions, and air travel. And then we have manifestation, practicability. Practicability, that's not even a word, I don't think. I heard practical and reliable, and it turned into the word I made up, practicability. Practicality. So maybe you prefer to meet people who are more reliable and it makes you feel better. We have skill, absolute decisions, business, and the ego. The ego is a place people are in when they feel the need to lash out or control a situation. Like when someone hurts your feelings, that's a lot of times your ego. Like the reason I say ego is if it hurts your pride or it makes you feel bad about yourself. Like no one can make you feel bad about yourself unless you let them. And if you had a question, the answer is yes to your question. And we have fire sign, first deacon, Sagittarius. Oh, another Sagittarius. And this is the 8 of Wands. So whenever that person is coming at you or people are coming at you and you don't like it, just get out of there and leave the situation. And if you can't leave the situation, just exit the conversation and excuse yourself. Even be as bold to be like, I have to go to the bathroom, I'll be back. I don't care if you're in the middle of a conversation, go to the bathroom. You can sit on the toilet even if you like don't feel like going. I mean, like with your clothes on. This is very specific. But just take a moment and take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and ask yourself, what is happening right now? How do you feel? And what do you want to do about it? And if all those answers are negative, you don't need to be in that situation. And you should make up an excuse as to leave the situation. Like, even if you have to text someone and ask them to call you in 5 minutes, do that. Just pretend like you use the bathroom, flush the toilet, wash your hands, and just say to yourself as you're washing your hands, I'm going to just wash away my problems. I'm going to wash away my fears. I can just leave this behind. Okay, because the only reason you'd be triggered, the only reason you'd be immature a lot of times is because you're triggered, or maybe you never met someone who is mature. But this is a good way to be like mature about a situation. And you seem like someone who doesn't really like conflict, and when it happens you lash out in a way that maybe you're not very proud of. And even if you are in the moment, you look back at some of the things you've done, and I'm kind of getting like you might be impulsive, and you look back and you're just like, oh, why did I react like that? You know, I wish I was more like how I am now. I'm more chill than I used to be. I'm not perfect, obviously. No one's perfect, but I wish I could do better. This is a good way to just like, if you recognize yourself getting upset, leave the room, excuse yourself to the bathroom, text somebody, ask them to call you in the next 5 minutes. And if you don't want 5 minutes, like in the next 2 minutes, like go ahead, text them, wash your hands, and then when you go to dry your hands, they call you and you're like, oh really, you need me right now, it's an emergency? And then you just go in there and you're like, I'm really, really sorry, I have to go. And you show that like the person called you on the phone. That way, like, they can ask, did you call them? Yes. Was an emergency? Like, literally text that person and say, hey, pretend you're calling about an emergency. If you don't have someone you can do that with, then you can create another scenario. Like, for example, oh my gosh, I forgot, I left a candle burning at my house and I didn't put it out, and I'm worried like it might break or bust while I'm gone. I gotta go. Maybe I'll talk to you later. Like, you can do things like that. Just get yourself out of negative situations so they don't turn you into a negative person. So that's what I have for you, number 2. Many blessings. I'm gonna clear that. Almost said number 1. All right, number 3. Number 3, you feel kind of tired of people. If I'm honest, like, I kind of am getting a vibe like life is a struggle when it comes to people. I mean, like, Pisces energy. I'm a Pisces, so don't take this offensively, but you'd rather be sleeping and having nice dreams than some of the conversations you have with people. I think everybody feels like that sometimes. It's not just Pisces, but I know I have a tendency to be like that, so you can relate to that. Alright, so what is your dark truth? Oh wow, I will abuse you in every way I can get away with. You need to ask yourself, why am I so hurt that I'm willing to do whatever it takes to hurt the other person until they go away? The only reason people hurt other people is because they're hurting and they just want them to go away. They don't want to deal with the hurt. They don't want to deal with the pain. They just want to be like by themselves. And a lot of times we may not recognize this about ourselves, but you need to ask yourself, why am I in so much pain that I would do whatever it takes to make somebody go away? So that's your dark truth. And I want you to just sit with that for a minute. Ask yourself, am I hurting? Am I in pain? And ask yourself, what do you do to help yourself when someone's hurting you. Whether it be get angry, whether it be hit somebody, whether it be, speaking to them a certain way, whether it be just pretending they don't even exist. There's all kinds of different types of ways of hurting people. So you need to ask yourself, what ways do I hurt people? And why do I feel the need to hurt them like that? So that's what I would tell you. And then the dark truth of the person on your mind, or the person you need to know about, will be next. We have dark truth number 15, the devil for you. That's interesting. I picked up on devil energy in number 2, and lo and behold, here the devil is here. So that's very interesting. I think sometimes you get so frustrated and you just feel like you're gonna explode, and maybe sometimes you just do. Now, dark secret of the person you need to know about. We have dark truth, the 9 of Wands. We have, I am paranoid, everyone is out to get me. So this could have been someone that you treated a certain way, and it gave them trauma to where they are afraid to be in any kind of relationship, because maybe they put a lot of faith and trust in you, and you broke them, and now they're afraid everyone's going to break them. So you need to ask yourself, why do you break people? Is it just because you can? Is it only when they do something in particular to you? Like, you need to figure out what is triggering you in such a way that you would want to make someone afraid to live their life, because that's essentially what this is. So if someone's very afraid and skittish around you, that would be this person. For some of you, I'm kind of getting the opposite. Like, you had someone abuse you in every way and you're afraid to live your life. So this is the only pile I'm getting. Like, it could be a reverse scenario. So if you don't, and I got a news flash just now, so like that could be a specific message. So if you're afraid to live your life because people have broken you, you need to ask yourself why you're afraid. If someone else is afraid around you, you need to ask yourself, how did you break them so much to where they're afraid? So I'm getting 2 different energies here. And the advice, we have the Emperor, number 4. That's interesting. I think in number 1 we had the Emperor. Let me see. Yeah, no, in number 2 we had the Emperor. Wow, you're really connected to pile number 2, because they got the Emperor, and I talked about the devil. They had devil energy, so you could have chosen both piles or been unsure. So feel free to go back and check that out if that resonates. We have the Emperor, number 4, upright, respect, leadership, stability, structure, rules and power, authority, father figure, protection, control, discipline, focus, practicality. I think regardless, you grew up in like a very strict, abusive upbringing. We have fire, Aries, that could be in your chart. We have number 4, organizational skills, reliability, and the ability to work hard. I feel like you're someone who could push yourself too far, who could push other people too far. If you had a question about the person on your mind or about the situation, the answer is yes. But I feel like you could have grown up with someone who was very strict, kind of a tyrant, and either you became that tyrant yourself, or you met someone who was like a tyrant and you're worried this is the only kind of person you'll ever attract. But you need to realize that just because that's what you grew up with, that doesn't mean it's going to be your future. So ask yourself what kind of relationships you really want. Like, research them, look them up, look up love languages, look up different types of relationships, And learn to be kinder to yourself regardless, even if whether you're the abuser or the abusee. Pain causes more pain, so you need to look at your pain and say, okay, I forgive myself for my pain. Now I need to see what I can do to make it better. So, and if you don't know how to help yourself, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with that. I've asked for help. I've gotten help before. Some of the people I never thought would did, just because their relationship completely fell to shambles with everyone around them. Like, if you don't like your life, this is a good way to go into a new direction. And I'm constantly being driven to his eyes being to the side with this paranoid. So maybe you're someone who always looks in their peripheral vision due to trauma, or this person does that. Make sure you notice that. And I'm being pointed out to like these sculptures in the back. They're being shown as like Egyptian ones. So maybe you had a past life where like you were a slave in Egyptian times and it's affecting you now. So feel free to do like hypnosis on a past life and like get a recording on it. I have that for some of you. So that's what I have for you. Number 3, many blessings, and I hope this helped you. Many blessings to all. I'm sure this was hard for some of you to deal with, but everyone has their own dark truth. That's one of the reasons why I did this reading. This is probably one of the darker readings I've done, but I just kind of felt called to do it, if I'm honest. It seems like the right time frame. I can't explain it or describe it. It's just an intuitive feeling. So hopefully this helps you with your dark truth and accepting it and accepting others. We all have dark truths. It's just, do you admit it to yourself, and have you healed from it to the point to where you can be okay with people, situations, things. If you heard my stomach growl, my food is literally waiting behind me and I can smell it. So I'm gonna go eat now. Look forward to the next one. Love, Magi Goddess. Remember to love yourself despite any hardships. Until next time.